Hi everyone, welcome to my new video here then. So what I'm going to be doing today is a kit review. I've always been a bit of a kit pest. Anyone that knows me will tell you that. I've always been a fan of gear that will help you out, be in the field, keep you more comfortable, help you carry your kit more easily, stuff like that. So what I'm going to do today then is going to do a bit of a comparison between the Camelbak BFM, and this is an old generation version, I think it's like the second generation, and the 511 Rush 72. Right then, so first thing I'm going to cover is the facts and figures of the bags, how much they cost, dimensions, stuff like that. So talking first about the Camelbak BFM, and this is, like I say, an older generation one. There are newer ones out there now with laser cotton mullet and stuff. The newer versions of this go for about 220 quid. And that is the newer generation version. I bought this off eBay for around about, I think it was 100 quid, and it was in very good condition when I got it. The only poor thing on it was the elastics had all kind of deteriorated a bit. But the guy that I bought it off lived in Australia, so you can understand why the heat would have an effect on that. So the dimension of this bag then is approximately 53 by 44 by 24, and I've actually measured that. I've not taken it off any websites or anything, so it's a true measurement. Capacity of this bag is 47 litres, and it weighs around about 2.1 kilos. Again, I did all these measurements as well. I don't actually know the fabric itself, so I know it's called Jura. I'm not sure, but I think it's 1000 denier, but I'm not 100% sure because it's difficult to get information on this bag now because it's not in production anymore. But I think it's 1000 denier. Compartments wise, it's got 11 compartments, and that includes the main compartment. Going on to the Rush 72 by 511 then. This costs £139.50 on Taptree, which is the UK main sort of distributor. I bought this again second hand, being a bit of a flea bag. I bought this on eBay for 77 quid, but it was in really, really good condition. It was virtually new when I bought it. The dimensions of this bag, again, I measured this, and it wasn't quite the same as what's advertised on Taptree, but it come up when I measured it as 55 centimetres by 44 centimetres by 25 centimetres. So virtually the same dimensions, give or take a centimetre or two, between the two bags really. Capacity of this one though is 55 litres. It weighs a bit more. It weighs 2.4 kilos as opposed to 2.1 kilos, and you can actually feel that when you pick the two bags up. It does feel slightly heavier, and the material used on this is 1050 denier nylon. It's got YKK zippers, really bomb-proof construction throughout, same as the Camelbak actually. Really good quality zippers and really good construction. The main difference then in this between that and the Camelbak bag is this has got 30 compartments, which I'll go into more as we talk through. So that's all the facts and figures covered on the bags. Okay then, so first bag I'm going to talk about is a Camelbak. Now I've used Camelbaks overseas in Afghanistan and places like that quite a lot. I think they're great bags, really, really well made. And they've been going for years and trusted by the military. They're actually issued to some American units, and we actually got issued them in the UK, the smaller version of this, for Afghanistan for a certain amount of time. Really well made, bomb-proof designs. Anyway, looking at the actual bag then, what you've got is a small compartment at the top. So that zips open, it's got two zippers there. And on this version, it's not got the fleece lining in there, okay? So I know on some of the other bags that Camelbak do, they do a fleece lining, which is really good for sunglasses and also night vision devices, night vision goggles, stuff like that, to stop the lenses getting scratched. On this type, it doesn't have it. So two zippers open up. Then you've got a compartment down here, quite a large one, lower type. So this zips open, two zippers again, opens up like so, and what you've got is a mesh compartment inside on the actual back end of the flap. So that's good for putting your smaller bits and pieces in, and it's mesh so you can see what's in there too. Then what you've got On this panel here is an organiser panel. So you've got your little compartments for things like pens, silooms. You've got like a little radio pocket there, and another one on this side. Then you've actually got dividers as well, so you can actually put some flat stuff in there, like notebooks or whatever, Nirex folders, things like that. Okay, so a nice big compartment down the bottom there, and that pouch there is covered with the PALS webbing, which you can obviously attach more pouches to if that's your thing. Ignore the bungees, that's just something I've added on there. That's something I'd use to, enable me to add stuff to the outside of the pack if need be. On the sides then, what you have is a larger water bottle type pouch, so you can fit a litre water bottle in there, no problems at all. Fit a Nalgene bottle in there, something like that. And then above that you've got a smaller sort of admin style pouch. It's quite small, you're not going to fit too much in that one, but it could be useful for your kind of smaller bits and pieces that you want to separate away from the main sort of compartments. Same's on the other side, exactly the same as this side is on the other side, and you've also got 2 compression straps on each side. And those buckles, nice and solid. You hear that snap in there nice. What you've got on the end of the straps then is these Velcro organiser things. So as you're doing up your straps, you can then tuck them away using the Velcro little tidy things there, which is great. And you've got that on all the compression straps, which is a nice little feature. On the top, you've got a decent grab handle there, really nice and solid. Either side of the grab handle then you've got these little ports, so these are Velcro opening slots, and these you can fit either an antenna from a radio or something, or potentially even the hydration port tube through. But the main one that's designed for the hydration tube is this one in the middle here, and it's got like a little elastic thing to stop it from opening, being wide open. On the back of the pouch here then, what you've got is a zipped opening for the Camelbak hydration bladder, and obviously this being a Camelbak pack comes with a hydration bladder, 3 litre one, solid bit of kit. It didn't come with it when I bought it off eBay, but I was happy with that because I don't want someone else's old used Camelbak. I've got plenty of those anyway. So this is it then, opens up from the top here, just round like that to this point there, and that's as far as it goes. And to be honest, it doesn't need to open any further than that. You've got the opening there for the Camelbak, then the actual hydration pack with a little strap there that you can hang it off. You can hook it into there. Inside this section then, which is the back, you've got like a stiffening plate there, and it's actually got a metal insert in there to keep it nice and stiff. So if you are loading this up with plenty of weight, and this is 47 litres, so you get quite a bit in it, then that will give you some good sort of rigidity to the pack itself. On the back of the pack then there's plenty of padding there. You can see it's nice and padded. It's not overly done, but there's a nice bit of padding there, and there's a lumbar pad there which is nice against your back. You've also got this piece of material to help stop it sliding around. The waist strap then, you can see that coming out either side there, nice and padded, and also what you've got is a tensioner on each side here with a buckle. So basically that clips it in, then you can tension it up using these straps, and there's those little strap tidy things on there as well, which is great. This is removable, so you can undo the clip on either side, and then basically get your hand inside here, and it's held in by Velcro, and you just basically pull that out. So if you was using that as a military pack, so you had like a belt order on or something, and this maybe was interfering with it, you could take it off. But that's a nice solid waist belt on there. On the shoulder straps then, so brilliant shoulder straps, really nice. Not overly done, but just about the right amount of padding, I think, on the shoulder straps. They work really well. And going down then, you don't have any PALS webbing to attach molly pouches, so that kind of shows the age of this pack now. Most packs of this sort of size would have molly attachments on there, the PALS webbing. But to be honest, the only thing I'd ever put on a shoulder strap would be a little radio anyway, a personal roll radio. So it's not a big deal, and you could attach that through these D-rings. And talking about that, there's a D-ring on either side, so they're really ideal for just hanging things off if you need to quickly. One thing I would say though about this is the chest strap. It's not the most sturdy chest strap going, okay? It's just like a normal Camelbak style, as in the type that they have on the civilian packs, and it's held on this buckle that you can adjust up and down, which is fine, apart from I actually found that one of these broke on me in Afghanistan because of the amount of weight I was carrying, and because you've got it strapped over the front of your body armour. I found that one of these broke on me, and it was the only point that I've ever found on any Camelbak gear that's broken. So I had to replace mine with a sturdier strap, but it's a fairly minor point. At the bottom end of these then, of the shoulder straps, they taper down, and then you've got the quick release buckles, which are good for obviously dumping your gear if need be. Okay, then going into the main compartment then, it's got a zip top opening. It's got two zips there, one either side. You can undo the compression straps and open it as a full clamshell. So if you were carrying something like a med pack or a radio, that'd be ideal because you could get full access to it straight away. So on a radio you can get access to the controls of your radio. On a med pack you could have it organised so you can grab out different modules of your med pack, things like your trauma kit or whatever, and that's all open like that. So on the back end of the main flap then you've got two compartments, both of them are zipped, both of them have got the mesh on. So really nice, large, sort of big compartments there, and that will help you organise your gear, and you can see what's in there too. On the main compartment itself then, and sort of the main part here, you can see this series of straps and stuff. So these are permanently attached, so they're sewn in. What these are for are actually strapping down a heavy load such as a radio. So this is designed as a military pack, and that's why they've got these on here. And they would be really handy for someone carrying a large radio. But if you're just using it for your average sort of bushcrafting or camping or whatever, you can also use these to sort of secure your loads. But personally I've never really used them, and I am kind of tempted to just cut them out because I never do use them, and they could potentially get in the way slightly, but I've never really had a drama with them. So that's that. That's the pack really in a nutshell. The only other thing that I haven't mentioned is on these zippers here that close up the main pack, is you've actually got another zipper on each side that opens up so you can actually access it from the side as well. So you've got the two main ones at the top, and then you've got one at the side as well. And that's it. Okay then, so going on to the second pack. So this is a 511 Rush 72. These are available in lots of colours. You can get them in coyote brown, you can get them in green, get them in multicam. So anyway, absolutely bomb-proof pack, strong as you like. Really, sturdy YKK zippers, all the sewing and all that. So you can just see the workmanship's really good. And for the price of the pack, I mean, brand new, 139 quid odd. It's not bad at all, really. I mean, compare that to a lot of packs out there nowadays, and it's not bad at all. However, I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with this thing. I know it's super popular within the sort of prepping world and all that, but I really like this pack, but there's a couple of things I'm not so keen on. I'll talk about that as I go through. Right then, so going through the external pockets and pouches and stuff. So on the top here, what we've got is quite a small sort of admin style pocket. That's accessed by a single zip, okay, so that zips over the top like that. And compare that to the Camelbak one that you have two zips. I think that's not the best design on this one here, because when you open this up, because you're only ever going to put small things in here, when you open it up, things could potentially just drop out. So I prefer the Camelbak one that opens with two zips, and it actually stops just short of the bottom, and then you can just access the top. However, on this one, instead of just being a simple pocket, you've got a mesh pouch here, which is great for your really small items, and you've also got like a little divider panel at the back there, so again you can put smaller items or small flat items. The only thing I'd say about this is it's quite a small pocket. It's not very sort of thick, it's quite a flat pocket. So a couple of things about that, you know, that I'm not so super keen on. Then you've got the large pocket on the bottom here, similar to the Camelbak one, but this is actually bigger, and it zips open with 2 zips, so that's good. Comes all the way open, and then you've got the start of the organisation within this pack, and it's crazy. Whoever designed this, they've kind of gone a bit wacky, a bit wild, I think, personally, on the amount of pockets and compartments in it. Again, it's got 30 apparently compartments in this thing, so according to the website. So, first one in the top, then you've got a little mesh compartment here. You've got a zip at the top there to access it, and then another one just below that. You've got a compartment down the bottom which is relatively flat, but that would be good for holding documents, stuff like that, maybe notepads and that. You've also got another pass-through behind that, again for flattish items. Then you've got an organiser panel. So what we've got in here is similar to the 511. We've got like little slots here for things like pens and stuff. You've got a flat pocket there, which I think is a great little compartment for something like a compass. Fits it really nice, silver compass. And then you've got another 2 pockets here that'd be good for putting small radios and stuff like that in. And then you've also got like a little bit of space there to kind of just fill it up with whatever you need. On the back end of the flap itself then, you've got another zip compartment, which is alright, but it's kind of narrow this way. It could have done with being a little bit longer. Similar, you know, dimensions to the Camelbak one would have been better, because that's quite narrow really. But nice little pocket regardless. And then you've got another 2 sort of pockets there, which are all right, but when you open this up that way, whatever you had in here could potentially fall out, unless it was the size of the pocket where this is going to kind of keep it in. Anyway, so that's that pocket there. Now this pocket is like attached by the compression straps, alright, so it folds out, and what you can use it for is this, what they call a stuff it pocket, and you can put other items in here. So if you've already filled out this entire pack, you can actually stuff more stuff in the back there, or you can put in wet stuff, so something like a wet jacket, like a Gore-Tex jacket you've been wearing if it stopped raining. Instead of putting it back in the main pack, you could potentially stuff it in there. You've got mesh panels on the side there to stop anything from falling out, and then you've got compression straps to keep things nice and tight. So that's not a bad idea, not a bad idea at all. And then the compression straps themselves then, so they have got, you know, again, mega bomb-proof buckles on them. They don't have the strap tie design like the 511, but they do actually have elastic keepers, which are decent, good quality elastic. On the sides then, one thing I really like about this pack are the side pockets. Really nice. So I'm going to undo this compression strap just to open it up fully, and this opens up with 1 zip. And these pockets here, even though they look low profile from the sort of front like that, they actually open up quite nicely, and you can fit quite a bit inside that side pocket. Okay, now I think they're a great design. There's no need, I personally think, for the Pals webbing on the side, because up to, you know, everyone's personal preference, but I don't see the point in putting a pouch on top of a side pouch, because all you're doing is make it wider. Things are going to dangle off rather than sit properly, but you know, each to their own. Inside there then, what you've got is a couple more organiser sort of slots. So you've got one at the top there, which is, you know, it's only a few inches long, and then you've got another one at the bottom there. But what this bottom one in particular is good for is for longer items, so you could put something like a saw, a folding saw in there, and that's going to fit in there really nicely, not take up much space, and you could still use the rest of the pouch for lots of other stuff. You know, you can fit in a 1 litre water bottle in there dead easy, and so on, lots of other stuff. So I think they're really nice, the side pouches on this, and obviously you've got the same on the other side, exactly the same pouch with the same organisers and stuff inside. So a single zip, and then you've got the little slots there to help organise your stuff a little bit. Right then, so that's the kind of external pouches, 1, 2, 3, 4. You've also got on the back of the pack itself hydration bladder compartment. So the way this works then is you've got two zips on the sides here. You can use either of them, so you can use this one to come over and open up the entire thing, or the same on the other side, so vice versa. And as opposed to the Camelbak one that only opens up a certain section, this opens right up. So not really needed if you're just going to put a hydration bladder in there, but if you were going to put something bigger in here, you may want to have that more sort of function of opening it up right up. You've got the little hanger thing there with a bit of Velcro on for attaching your hydration bladder, and then pretty similar to the Camelbak, what you've got is a Velcro opening to the back stiffener panel there, and again it's got a metal section in there to keep it nice and sturdy. So again, some good additions there. That just zips up. On the back of the pack then, again, not overly done, but a nice bit of padding there. So 4 panels, and then you've got the non-slip bits at the bottom just to help it from slipping around. Could have probably done with a little bit more padding on there, but it's not too bad at all really. You've got a little drain grommet at the bottom there as well. And then, okay, so the waistband on this packs away behind these little pads here via these 2 slots. So if you weren't using it, you just, instead of being removable, you just kind of tuck it away. The only problem I find with this is the buckles have got nowhere to go, so they don't pass all the way through, and it all kind of bunches up behind here. So if you're not using these waist straps, they can kind of dig in on your back a little bit, especially if you've got a lot of weight in this. And remember, this is 55 litres, so you could potentially be carrying quite a lot of weight in this. So these just pop out the sides, and it's quite a nice little neat design the way they just tuck away. And again, nice solid buckle, and you just do them up like so, and there's elastics on there to tidy away the excess webbing. On this waist strap then, what you've got is the PALS webbing, so you can attach external pouches onto your waist strap, which is a great feature. You know, if you were just using this on its own, you might potentially want to add like an admin pouch on one side and a water bottle pouch on the other, something like that, you know. So that's a nice little feature. But what I would say with this waist strap is there is a little bit of padding in there, but it's not that much of a serious waist strap. It's not as good as the Camelbak one, other than the PALS webbing. But it's all right, you know, it's decent and it's workable. Okay, the shoulder straps then. So the shoulder straps, really sturdy, got this nice S shape in them, so nicely designed, and they've got PALS webbing up and down them, so great for attaching things like your PRR radio or whatever you need to put on there. You can also, what I do is I attach little loops of bungee on there to pass my hydration bladder tube through, and that keeps it nicely organised. On the bottom here you've got partially covered quick release buckles, which I really like actually. I think it's a really nice idea. Instead of having them exposed, it kind of protects them a little bit, and they just operate like so. So they're easy to get hold of, but they're not kind of exposed as much as the other type. And again, no strap tidies, but elastics, nice sturdy elastics, and I think that's a really good little design thing there, just to tuck them away whilst you're tabbing around the area. Chest strap then, a little bit of a better chest strap on this one, a bit more of a serious one, bigger buckle and stuff. Nice, it's quite decent, and you can actually undo these little bits here. These little buckles have got like a cut through in them, so you can actually put them where you need to up and down the chest strap on this PALS webbing here. So you just slot it in and just put it where you need to. Personally, I prefer a chest strap to go around the shoulder straps if you're going to be using it for really serious use, but to be honest, that's pretty good. It's not bad at all, and it does have like a bungee thing on there so you can breathe as well. Now, the only other thing that I'm not so keen on, well, the main thing I don't really like about this pack is this yoke system. Okay, so at the top of the shoulder straps, they don't just go straight into the pack like most other packs do. They've got this yoke system on. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that like that, and it works for them. Personally, I hate it. What I find with this is it kind of presses into the back of my neck, and it just bugs me. It's not super uncomfortable, but it bugs me, and I'm not that keen on it. I saw that 511 were doing an upgrade of these packs recently, and I was praying that they were going to take this out, because I have seen on some of the other packs they haven't got this form on there, but they haven't. I think they're leaving it on. So yeah, bit of a shame that, but you know, each to their own. I'm sure some people love that. Personally, I really don't. So anyway, going into the main pack then, you've got two super sturdy zippers there, open up, and again, just like the other pack, you've got the two side compression straps that you have to undo if you want to get all the way in. So they open up there, and you can just tell, you look at these zippers, they're absolutely bomb-proof, they're as strong as you like. So these are like military specification zippers, I'm guessing, really sturdy. So it opens up full clamshell, just like the other pack, so quite similar. Now, going on again, more crazy organisation within the pack. You've got 3 compartments on this side. I prefer the layout of the Camelbak a little bit more than this, but you know, I'm sure some people out there will love this, but I think they've gone a little bit OTT on the pockets. So you've got 2 pockets at the top that are accessible by zip. Now, this top one, so there's a zip closed and open again. For some strange reason, they've put a zip at the bottom of that pouch. Now, yeah, I suppose you could, once you've opened it like the way I'm stood now, you could access it from the bottom, but I personally think that's a bit unnecessary. There might be a better reason for it, but put it in the comments below if you know of anything better than me. I just think that's unnecessary, and it's adding sort of unnecessary weight to the bag. Then you've got a second pouch, zip pouch there, which is great. You know, 2 nice zip pouches there. But again, I don't really see the need for a third one. So there's a third one that's right at the bottom there. You know, it does give you more chance to organise your pack, but I just think it's slightly unnecessary to have a third one there. I would have rather had it laid out like the other pack, where you've got 2 sort of larger pockets rather than 3, but not a big deal. So then, other side. So we've covered the actual back of the flap itself then. Other side of the pack here, what we've got is a zip panel here. So that's great, nice big mesh panel. Then you've got this sort of like stuff it panel here. Now, again, I don't really see much use for that, other than potentially if you've got a radio. So maybe this is their version of the Camelbak have got the straps. This has got like a big pouch here where you could just stuff a radio into. But I personally, I just think it's a little bit of a pointless thing, that one there. So I'm sure some people out there will be using that. But if I'm going to use a pack of this size, I'd have a big Bergen liner in it, and all my stuff would be in the Bergen liner. So this would just be flat and unused. But each to their own. So that's the inside of the pack. And also something I didn't mention is this sunglass case. So on the top of the pack here, you've got the sunglass case, which is a really nice feature. It's got like a fleecy type lining in, and it keeps your sunglasses out the way, or your reading glasses if you use them, out the way of all the rest of your gear. On the top of the pack here then, you've got another really good strong grab handle. Now I really like that, that's really well made. And you've got those ports again for antennas and stuff. You could also use them for your hydration bladder. So that's the 511/72 covered. Okay then, so that's the comparison done. What I'm going to do now is I'll summarise, and I'll just give you my thoughts in general on each pack. Okay then, so the Camelbak BFM, great bit of kit for sort of a very large size day sack. It'd be great as a patrol sack when working operationally overseas. I really like the layout of it. I think they haven't overcomplicated the organisation of it and stuff, and it's got a bomb-proof design. The only small gripe I've got with it is the chest strap. As I said, I had one fail on me over in Afghanistan, so I'm not a big fan of those little ditty chest straps that seem to be designed more for the civilian market. I do think they need to put a sturdier one on there, but anyway, great pack, well laid out, nice bit of kit. 511 Rush 72. Again, a great pack. I know it's really popular with a lot of preppers and survivalists and stuff out there. What I would say is a couple of things. I think 55 litres is probably a bit too big for a day sack style layout, because that's what these are. These are kind of like a large day sack. 55 litres is more of a Bergen size. So the amount of kit you can fit in here, you know, I mean either of them really, it can be quite a lot of weight. So it hasn't got things like top tension and straps on it and all that, which you expect with a Bergen. And the waist strap is kind of like, you know, it's all right, but it's not brilliant. But what I would say about this is, I think it's overcomplicated. I think the organisation is too much on it. And as I've already said, I really don't like that yoke design on the shoulder straps. Just my opinion. You know, I'm sure other people like it, but personally, I'm not a big fan. What I do like about this is it's constructed really well. It's really tough. You can tell that looking at it, and, you know, using it. The zippers are great on it. The materials are great. The side pouches are fantastic. I really like the side pouches. The fact that they're low profile, but you can still fit quite a bit in them. So I think if 511 did a slightly smaller version of this, maybe scaled it down to 45 litres or so, changed that yoke system, maybe simplified it a little bit, did a similar layout to the Camelbak pack where it's not got quite so many pockets in it, I think it'd be a fantastic pack, absolutely phenomenal. But the way it is at the moment, there's just a couple of things in there that I kind of, it throws me a little bit. So, you know, from that then, personally I prefer the Camelbak. Ironically, the newer versions of the Camelbak, of this actual type, of the BFM, I think it's not as good as this one. I prefer the older generation. That's not just me being like, oh, I'm being old school or whatever. The new shape is kind of a bit sort of angular. They've stuck that laser cut molle all over it. The waist strap is a bit OTT. So I actually prefer the older generation. This is one of the older generation versions, but that's just my opinion, you know. And like everyone knows, everyone's got an opinion, like the obvious. Right, so hopefully some of this has been of use to people out there. You know, having a look at different kit, what's suitable for you, can help you form your opinion on what works for you, what might not work for you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. If you've got any comments of anything I've said here, then whack them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. Cheers.